Good evening and welcome to Euro 2024 live on LFS. Our third and final game of day 3 of Euro 2024 sees 2020 runners-up England face Serbia, making their first appearance at a Euros finals since 2000. England faltered in the final at Wembley in 2021, and they're here for revenge. Can they go one better and lift the glorious trophy for the very first time? Serbia stand in their weight, a side who haven't experienced this type of football at this level for over 20 years. And just as Slovenia did, they'll be hoping they can follow suit and get a big scalping on match day 1. But England will have one of the best squads and are one of the favourites to win the competition, and they'll want to get off to a winning start. The anthem's currently underway, and we've already seen the other game in Group C this afternoon end in a draw. Our first draw of the competition, Slovenia against Denmark in a 1-1 draw, and those two out there singing their heart out to their anthems will be wanting to lift and get 3 points to get them off to the perfect start and to gain as much of an advantage in Group C as they possibly can. Pretty long anthem from Serbia there. Let's have a look at tonight's teams. And Serbia start with Predrag Rakovic in goal. Of course, Milinkovic-Savic on the bench for Serbia, their usual goalkeeper. They go for a back 5 of Zilkovic, Velkovic, Milinkovic, Pavlovic and Kostic in defence. In midfield is Sasa Lukic and Nemanja Gudel, with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic in the 10 role, with a front 2 of Dusan Vlahovic and Aleksandar Mitrovic, who captains the Serbian side. On the bench for Serbia is Petrovic, Milinkovic-Savic, Stojic, Babic, Milajovic, Spajic, Maldanovic, Maksimovic, Ilic, Samardzic, Gaksinovic, Tadic, Jovic, Ratkov and Bermensevic on the bench. For England, much easier names to say, let's be honest. Jordan Pickford starts in goal, the most capped, or one of the most capped England goalkeepers in the top 5 now. Only 4 have got more international caps than him, the number 1. They start with Kyle Walker, John Stones, Mark Guehi and Kieran Trippier in defence, with Mark Guehi making his first international appearance at a Euros. And in midfield, Trent Alexander-Arnold. All the questions to whether he would start in defence or midfield, and Gareth Southgate started him alongside Declan Rice in a double pivot in midfield. Jude Bellingham further ahead, either side of him, Bukayo Saka off the right, Foden off the left, and Harry Kane up front, who now has clearly the most goals at international tournaments for England, 12, more than any other Englishman in international history. England on the bench for them: Ramsdale, Henderson, Shaw, Konsa, Dunk, Gomez, Gallagher, Bowen, Eze, Palmer, Wharton, Mainu, Tony, Watkins and Gordon. Strength on the bench, strength on the pitch, and Group C already underway, and these two reacting to our earlier draw. Kick-off in Gelsenkirchen between Serbia and England is next. Very good evening. Welcome to Schalke's home stadium in Gelsenkirchen, where England get their 2024 Euros campaign off and running against a side who haven't been in this competition in 24 years. And they'll be hoping that they can make the most of this moment. Those Serbian players, led by Alexander Mitrovic, who has experience against English players and English teams, having played in England for quite a while with Fulham. And I'll be hoping he can use that experience to help his side try and conjure up a wonderful scalping it would become. But England absolutely swimming in talent, both in the 11 and in the squad. Serbia in their darker red home strip, and England in all white. As we get underway, Bukayo Saka gets us going as England start their campaign. They started Euro 2020 and ended it at the very end in the final on the losing side on their home stadium, as Mitrovic gets the better of Stones early on there. Vlahovic trying to sneak in, but again cleared away, dealt with by England there as Guehi picks it up. It will be a test for England, all the question marks over their defence rather than their attack coming into this tournament. Their attack is pretty, unstoppable at times, but they were stopped in their last warm-up game at Wembley before heading to Germany. Iceland beating them by 1-0. And not even one of the best teams in the world are unstoppable. But England, a different mentality coming into this competition. Here's Bellingham, using his body well, finds Declan Rice, sprays it out to Bukayo Saka on the right hand side. Early defending to do here for Serbia. Walker back to Stones. Now out wide on the right hand side is Alexander-Arnold. Back to Foden. It'll be very fluid, I would expect, from England tonight. I think Foden, although he started on that left hand side, I think it'll be a very fluid forward line. They will just find the pockets in space, and there is Foden. Finds Saka, and Alexander-Arnold made that run in behind. He'll also be in a kind of free role tonight. Alexander-Arnold. A lot of those midfielders for England in and around that area not be rigid to a structure. It'll be the defence that will be the most rigid of the team. But a very attacking approach clearly from England with this 4-2-3-1 formation. Here's John Stones. Around the corner finds Alexander-Arnold. Rice. Trent Alexander-Arnold again. And of course all the talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold and where is his best position on the pitch has become one of the best fullbacks in the world, attacking fullbacks in the world at Liverpool. Over the last 5 years or so, one of the best in Europe in that position. And we've seen him more as a kind of auxiliary midfielder at times for his club. And Gareth Southgate has put him in that role in the 6, alongside Declan Rice in a double pivot for this one. And we'll see how he can perform as he'll take the first free kick here for England. Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of the best passers of a ball and one of the best deliverers of a ball in Europe at this moment in time. Alexander-Arnold, right-footed delivery, fizzed into the box, headed away at the front post. Recycled in again by Trippier as Rice picks it back up. Walker. Alexander-Arnold. England dominating the early possession. Had 96% possession so far in the 3.5 minutes we've played. Serbia have barely got a touch on the ball. It might be a tough night for Serbia, but if they can conjure up the kind of performance that Slovenia did against Denmark earlier this afternoon, anything is possible. They're moving quite a bit here, England. Guehi on the left was Trippier, back to Mark Guehi. Of course, entrusted by Gareth Southgate alongside John Stones at centre back. No Harry Maguire, of course, injured, had to be taken out of the squad before they travelled to Germany due to an injury. Harry Maguire. Luke Shaw is in the squad, but not going to make an appearance tonight. Still recovering, and he was promising enough to keep him in the squad. Luke Shaw in his progression. Foden on the corner finds Bellingham. Bellingham trying to find Foden back in the middle, but just couldn't take it under control. Foden, nice idea. Really good link up between Bellingham and Foden there. And they almost find that big gap to try and exploit Serbia. The ball pinged forward. Trippier heads it back down. Foden with a strike. Dragged well wide, but it will be a corner. Took a deflection on the way through. Or actually, the flag went up for offside, not corner. So Trippier was just offside. And Dragan Stojkovic, the Serbian head coach, he's got a few very good players at his disposal, the likes of Mitrovic, Vlahovic, Lukic, Gudel, Kostic, Milinkovic, Savic, of course. They've got a good side, Serbia. They're not going to be a walkover. Here's Kostic, breaks down the left-hand side, gets the brick of the ball, chips the ball into the box, over the head of Vlahovic. And England can try and get it away, but good battling by Mitrovic. Lukic, all the way back to Velkovic. Now Milinkovic has it at the back here for Serbia, and they can finally get a few touches on the ball and spring a few passes together. England had their almost exclusive 5-6 minutes of possession as Rajkovic knocks it long. Stones up for the header. Alexander-Arnold pops it round the corner to keep the possession. Foden to Trippier, and now across to Walker. It is a very fluid England team, not structured to one position. So Alexander-Arnold looking to switch the ball out beautifully, brought down by Trippier. First time pass to Guehi. Seems like Serbia trying to crowd out the midfield, not allow England to have time on the ball in those central areas. That's why England are just holding the ball up with their defenders at the moment, trying to find a way through. Saka, Walker, back to Stones. Seems like Declan Rice is kind of staying back, and the rest of the midfielders all charging forward. Saka seen how to play there, and it will be a Serbian throw. Deemed to have come off Saka last there. Before it went out of play. I thought that was an England throw. It looked like an England throw there, but Serbia get it. Gareth Southgate watching on. It's not quite fashion king anymore. Tried it with that waistcoat and that didn't work. He's trying something different now. Not that that really makes a difference, but you know, football people are superstitious. You never know. Stones to Guehi. Lovely ball through the middle. As Bellingham picks up that spot, and he's going to get the free kick here. Good work from Jude Bellingham. Taking the free kick quickly. England trying to keep the tempo high. Rice. And to feint the ball in behind for Saka to chase as Pavlovic deals with it and gets it away. As Rice struggles to keep the ball in play, Serbia will get the throw in. Stojkovic there, the head coach of Serbia, telling the side to pass it around. The universal acceptance of the phrase pass the ball. Those crazy hand movements that we see as England get the brick of the ball. Bellingham trying to evade the way through, and he gets another free kick. Bellingham making a nuisance of himself so far. A couple of those fouls he's won. That time Sasa Lukic with the foul. Just pulling and dragging Jude Bellingham back. That's what he can offer, Bellingham. A lot more than just that, but it's one of his many attributes. As England set up for this free kick again, it will be Trippier that will take it this time. Much more central, he's taking it short. Now Walker. Fizz it into the box, out to the back post was Rice. And there's a collision off the ball there. And it will be a Serbian free kick. To see the replay. It was, I think it was Stones there that just collided with Mitrovic in the box. And Stones just literally, they're both falling over each other there. Serbia get the free kick. 10 minutes gone, 0-0 here in Gelsenkirchen. Our final game of the day. Said about England, well, in their last 4 international friendlies, they've won just one of them, losing to Iceland and Brazil, drawing with Belgium, and that win only coming against Bosnia. Last time they lost in an international competition, of course, was in the World Cup quarter-finals against France in December 2022. And they lost 2-1 in that game. France went on to the final and lost the final that time. And the qualifying campaign for England went unbeaten. In their 8 qualifying games, they won 6 out of the 8, drawing 2 of those games away at Ukraine and away at North Macedonia. Won all of their home games, including a 7-0 victory against North Macedonia in June last year. Rice. Walker. To Saka now. To Kyle Walker. Popping it around England. Walker, nice ball in behind for Saka. Saka looking for the cross, headed on and in. What a header by Jude Bellingham. That's a lovely bit of work. And Bellingham with a booted header. No keeper stopping that one. And that is England taking the lead with practically their first chance of the game. What a way to blast yourself off in the Euros. And Jude Bellingham, pipped for the Ballon d'Or this year. And that's another reason why. It's great from Walker down the right-hand side. A fabulous ball in behind for Saka. And despite not getting enough room, he chips it in, gets a bit of luck from the deflection. And following in is Jude Bellingham, diving like a salmon to head it into the top corner for 1-0. Lovely start from England. They've dominated the early moments and they have the early goal. Serbia 0, England 1. Jude Bellingham, the 20-year-old superstar, is lighting up this game so far. 1-0 to England. There we are. England getting the early advantage. as many before them have. I've said it before, there's been an early goal in practically all of our games so far. And we're at game 7 of the competition. But what a start for England. That's the perfect start. The start they most certainly needed. It's just really good football. And it's just that the run of Saka was kind of played to perfection. The pass weighted beautifully by Walker. And then the kind of imagination from Jude Bellingham to just know that the cross is coming in and to dive for it, to be in that position is top tier. And Jude Bellingham, the man to give England the early lead. Stones. All the way back to Pickford now. Here's Rice. Jude Bellingham is not only lit up internationally, but lit up in club football this season. In La Liga, 19 goals in 28 appearances in La Liga this season. 6 assists, that's 25 goal involvements for Bellingham in his first season at Real Madrid. That's only La Liga only. He also got 4 Champions League goals and 5 Champions League assists in his 11 matches, and en route to lifting his first Champions League title. He's had some season, and what a way to cap it off if England can go and do what no England team has ever done before. He actually broke a record, Jude Bellingham, becoming the youngest player to play at 3 tournaments for England, ahead of Michael Owen, who was the previous youngest. Guehi. Back to Stones. John Stones will be that experience at centre back. Mark Guehi making his debut at the Euros, and it will be a nervy moment, a nervous night for him, but John Stones will walk him through it and help him through with the experience that John Stones has at this level. Blooding in youngsters, someone with pure quality as Mark Guehi's shown this season at Crystal Palace. He's had a wonderful season. Palace right to be proud of Mark Guehi, who is one of the best centre-backs at the moment. English centre-backs at the moment. As Bellingham again held. That time it was Zivkovic that time was a bit annoyed. The referee just has to have a word with the Serbian wing-back because he got a bit frustrated there. But it was a foul. Walker just a bit wayward to Saka there as Mitrovic picks up the ball. Serbia try to respond. Get a bit of the ball. Try and get themselves out of their own half here. Kostic. Back to Pavlovic. Across to Milenkovic. Lukic to Velkovic. Given away there by Vlahovic. Kane finds Foden. Saka's running in. Foden plays it on to Alexander-Arnold, who drags his shot well wide. Bellingham again was on the floor. He's dragged about like a rag doll, Jude Bellingham, in these early stages. Been fouled about 4 or 5 times inside 18 minutes. And that time was a late arm by Dusan Vlahovic there. I don't think there was any malice intent behind it, but it was a foul. But the referee played the advantage, and Alexander-Arnold's shot ended up going wide. We know he can score them. Alexander-Arnold shown that at club level. Scored for England as well in one of the warm-up games. Rajkovic. Mitrovic. Trying to play it off. As Alexander-Arnold tracking back to win the ball back for England. Pickford. Guehi round the corner to Stones. Down the line to Walker. That one goes out of play. Will be a Serbian throw. England just trying to reassure calmness. Serbia take that throw in. Milenkovic to Velkovic. Knocks it forward. Chested down there by Vlahovic, but beaten to it by Guehi. Alexander-Arnold gets in a bit of a muddle and gives the ball away, and the shot is hit wide by Mitrovic. England got themselves in a bit of trouble there. Guehi won the ball back nicely, but the ball, Alexander-Arnold couldn't take it under control. Got a bit in a bit of a muddle. Got it away. Nicked away by Zivkovic, and then played to Mitrovic, who took the strike first time, but took it wide. And that was a good opportunity for Serbia there. And it's just a warning to say that despite England dominating the ball, Serbia are still a threat. It's Keane battling. Saka wrestled to the floor again. It's another pull and another free kick. Pavlovic this time committing the foul. Excuse me. Yeah. Wasn't a complete drag, but was a pull at least, and referee Daniele Orsato from Italy giving the free kick, as he has done quite a number of times tonight for England. Another chance to deliver a ball in here. Foden and Alexander-Arnold over it. Both capable. Who's going to take it? Alexander-Arnold, right-footed, across and all the way through. Rice wasn't expecting it to come near him, and it came flying off him. Off his shoulder, it looked like. Was expecting Harry Kane to get anywhere near it, but fell for Rice, and it came off his right shoulder and bounced out for a goal kick. Didn't anticipate that one. The Arsenal midfielder. Serbia tiptoeing up the pitch. Of course, they've not featured in a finals tournament since 2000. Serbia. They reached the last 8, only to bow out after a record-equaling defeat. This is England's 4th successive appearance at a Euros. Their most successful campaign, of course, was the last one at 2020, reaching the final for the first time, only to lose on penalties at Wembley to Italy. Zivkovic back to Velkovic. Cross to Rajkovic, who knocks it long. Trying to find Mitrovic, plays it well. Lovely touch away from Declan Rice. Here's Vlahovic trying to take control, trying to shoot. Blocked by Guehi. Slight few moments there for Serbia. Opportunities. Here's Foden. Misplacing the pass behind Saka. Kostic now on the left. Marshalled all the way by Bellingham, and Bellingham, who's being dragged down, is trying to drag someone else down, and good battle between Bellingham and Bellingham, Walker and Kostic there, and Kostic got a bit frustrated. They both kind of barged each other's shoulders there. They got a bit of involved. Bellingham getting the crowd going, and Bellingham, there was no need for that from Bellingham. Walker. Back to Stones. Rice. Stones. Well, the last time, this is the first fixture between these two since a friendly in Leicester in June 2003. England won 2-1 on that occasion. Steven Gerrard scored to give England an early lead. Nenad Jestrovic equalised 10 minutes after for Serbia. Before Joe Cole, the England substitute, scored a winner 7 minutes from full time to secure victory in that friendly. Vlavic's ball intercepted by Alexander-Arnold. Now Saka bursting down the right is Walker. Kyle Walker is in. Walker across and fizz right the way through. No one there to tap it home for England. But it was great anticipation initially from Alexander-Arnold. The ball found its way to Saka. Saka played it on to the overlapping Walker, who was bursting the way through. No one anywhere near him. Pavlovic couldn't get him away. And from the narrow angle, it's just fed all the way through. He was waiting on a touch, but no one came. And no one got a touch. Goal kick to Serbia. It was a good breakaway there from England. Just we're awaiting the finish that didn't ever come. 25 minutes gone. Serbia 0, England 1. Jude Bellingham's goal the difference. Valkovic played it forward to Zivkovic, but both shouting at each other there as Foden intercepts. And Zivkovic will get the throw in on the right hand side. Both head coaches sharing some instruction with their players. Both have had 2 attempts in the game. England the only shot on target, of course, is their goal. But England dominating the possession, 70% to Serbia's 30%. So England certainly on top on that factor and have the lead. Serbia tried to go for the switch ball there, but it's nowhere near Milinkovic-Savic as Walker headed it back to Pickford. Pickford knocks it long. Going to find Harry Kane in behind, and Kane deemed to have pulled Milenkovic down. The Serbian centre-back. The real tussle between Harry Kane and Milenkovic. And Nikola Milenkovic got the foul out of that one. Looks to be a keen battle. We might be watching right throughout the night. It's a nice foray forward here for Sasa Lukic. Couldn't find anyone ahead of him. England have that bank of 4, even a 5 out of possession at times. As Milinkovic just goes back to Rajkovic, his keeper. Valkovic. Silkovic there trying to find Mitrovic, who couldn't pass it off to any of his teammates as Rice and Trippier are involved. Bellingham finds Walker now. Rice. Guehi. Stones. Alexander-Arnold. Out wide to Saka. Back to Alexander-Arnold and give and go there as Saka gets the ball in behind again from Alexander-Arnold. Gets the brick of the ball in the box but can't squeeze it through. Bellingham. Now Alexander-Arnold using his feet and brought down there. Will be a free kick to England. Despite the claims from Nemanja Gudel that it wasn't a foul. It was a clip on the right foot of the Liverpool midfielder. And he didn't take any asking and going down there. Did Trent Alexander-Arnold. Free kick to England. And this is their first kind of opportunity at goal where they can maybe go direct from this free kick. There's some distance out still, but there's a possibility that England can find something. A couple of England players in and around it. Rajkovic trying to set up his wall. It's Trippier, Foden and Alexander-Arnold all over this one. Trippier, who scored in a World Cup semi-final against Croatia from a similar position from a free kick. England readying to take this, or the referee just trying to sort out the line there where the England players are allowed to stand. Seems a bit unnecessary. As Alexander-Arnold and Trippier are in deep conversation. Looks like Alexander-Arnold's ready to take it. Trippier walks away. It's Alexander-Arnold and Foden over at this time. A good 27 yards from goal. Right footer from Alexander-Arnold hits the wall, as it will come straight back out to him. Lays it off to Trippier. And that was an anticlimactic ending to that whole setup. As Pickford fires long, but header from Milenkovic. Right. And what a ball by Bellingham. That was some ping of a pass. You have to just watch in awe of that type of pass. Wonderful. Walker. Saka on the right flank. Saka looking to take his man on, and Kostic chips it into the middle, but deflected away, and Serbia get it cleared from Zivkovic, but instantly pressed upon by Gehi. And now Bellingham looking for Saka in the box. Good headed clearance once again, that time from Pavlovic. As Rice picks it back up in the middle for England as we surpass the half-hour mark here in Gelsenkirchen. And England leading by a goal to nil inside the VELTINS-Arena. Here's Kyle Walker, plays it forward for Saka. Saka battling with Pavlovic there, and the referee seeing it, that there was no problem with Pavlovic's challenge there. The referee said he stood his ground. Just seeing that pass from Bellingham again. What an absolute crazy pass that is. That's nuts. And Serbia got the free kick for that position, by the way. Pavlovic. Now to Milenkovic. Veljkovic. Zivkovic. Back to Milenkovic. Zivkovic. Now through the lines to Lukic. Now Milinkovic-Savic lays it off to Pavlovic, getting more comfortable in their passing, Serbia. Probably their longest spell of possession of the game so far. And England just allowing them that bit of time and space on the ball. Just pass it around mainly through their defenders, but they're trying to play in between the lines. Here's Mitrovic. Out to Zivkovic on the right hand side, who will go for the cross, and Gehi had to head it away and get it clear of danger as Bellingham plays it on to Foden, and Harry Kane was lurking, but nicely stepped in by Milinkovic. Serbia starting to grow into the game a bit more, not as afraid, getting more comfortable on the ball. Milenkovic to Gudel, to Lukic, the patient passing, trying to find those spaces. Serbia, marauding run here from Pavlovic. Lukic. Now to the left here to Kostic. Pavlovic to Kostic. And a breakthrough back to Pavlovic. It's England tracking back, and the cross from Kostic is dealt with by Bellingham, who clears. That's probably Serbia's best moment of the game so far. Long spell of possession. They're still in possession at the moment. They got a throw in there from the Bellingham clearance. Only one side has kept a clean sheet in our previous 6 games so far, and that's Spain in a 3-0 win against Croatia. Other than that, no one else has kept a clean sheet in the competition so far. Makes it even more exciting for us all. Major extension of goals. Here's Pavlovic. Through the lines, trying to rely upon Vlahovic there. Good step in by Lukic, and they had to thread it through, tried to thread it through the lines there, Milinkovic-Savic, but couldn't find his man in Vlahovic, and well closed down by Declan Rice. Alexander-Arnold. Not the best of passes that. Behind Foden. And will allow Serbia to win the ball back again. England, bit of a slow period the last few minutes or so. And with only just the 1 goal. Well, don't forget, we'll have more action for you tomorrow. And one of our key games tomorrow, one of our biggest games tomorrow, is the side that were the world champions the last time we were at the Euros. The side that put England out in the World Cup quarter-finals in 2022. And that's France. We watch them play Austria tomorrow, 8 o'clock, here on LFS. As Group D completed. Netherlands winning earlier this afternoon between them and Poland. And Austria and France will react to that tomorrow from 8. Lovely touch by Saka. Saka's in, plays it across, and just behind Phil Foden in the middle. This is where England are finding their advantage down that right-hand side. The majority of their attacks, England, have come down that side in this first half. It's Bukayo Saka that's breaking through time and time again. That's where the goal came from. It came down that side. That's where England are finding their most joy. I can't remember the last time that they played a ball down the left-hand channel. Here's Pavlovic. It's just those simple passes for Serbia. Not need to overcomplicate things, not need to rush it. It's only 1-0. I don't think they were watching Slovenia earlier, but if they were, this was the technique they were getting. They didn't have much of the ball, Slovenia. It was more defensively in the first half, but they just calmed the game down. Kostic with a lovely cross, and again there was bodies in there. Vlahovic was closest, but Rice got it away. But Serbia pushing. Here's Živkovic. Up against Trippier. Gets the cross in. Straight to Rice, who will gather and will carry it out for England. Foden. Bellingham dragged back there a slight bit. The referee will play on. Allow Bellingham to continue his run. Will run out of room. And now he was fouled again there, Bellingham, for a second time. And the referee might have to go to his pocket. Here he is. He's going to put out a yellow. Bellingham's been fouled about 6 times in this game. I mean, how he's not battered and bruised, I do not know, because they've been attacking him at every given chance so far, Serbia. And it was Nemanja Gudel that time. And he'll get the kind of yellow card for all of his other teammates' fouls as well as his. The accumulation, just too much, according to the referee, Daniele Arsato. And That's the first yellow of the game, and it goes to the Serbian midfielder Nemanja Gudel. Yeah, Bellingham does really well there. Gets the ball away from danger, knows the challenge is coming, gets the ball away, pips it away, and then waits for the challenge from Gudel. 6 minutes of the first half to go, and England's narrow lead that was scored by Jude Bellingham is the difference between the two sides in Group C. England want to get off to a good start. They have Denmark next. Denmark, who dropped points against Slovenia earlier this afternoon. England would love to have the top of the group, 3 points and the most advantage over anyone in a pretty good position heading into match day 2. Knowing that there would be no one in and around them, that would be a unique, at the moment, it would be a unique position that England would find themselves in if they were to win this evening. They would be the only team that would be clearly top of their group on points, having all 4 teams have played. Of course, Group E and Group F yet to get underway, and 1 game to go in Group D, so it's not the most exciting of stats, but it is the right one. Not good here for Serbia. Filip Kostic has just gone down off the ball, so that looks to be a worry. And the England fans, happy as can be at the moment, singing another chorus of the anthem. And they're loving it there at the moment. And we're just seeing the replay of the goal. I mean, we know the quality of Bellingham, but I talked about it, the imagination, the anticipation to know that that cross is coming and to just dive like that, to be in that position, to dive like that. Bellingham and Alexander-Arnold there with an interesting celebration. I don't know what that is meant to be. It's some sort of mask that they were creating. I don't know what that's about. We do have this stoppage then. Filip Kostic just receiving a bit of treatment at the moment, as we see into the Serbian fans there, still smiling. And this gives time for the Serbian head coach Dragan Stojkovic to just get a bit of information to one of his players in Dusan Vlahovic. Gareth Southgate also giving a bit of information to some of his players while they're getting a drink on the sidelines. While there is this stoppage in play, Kostic back to his feet, and he should be okay to continue. We'll see. He's walking to the sidelines, so we will see if he will return to the field of play. I believe he will. No sign of a substitution at the moment, although of course they'll fully assess him surely at half time. Well, actually they might be only making a change here. Just as I said, there was no sign. They have just going to make a change in a moment or so, Serbia. So Kostic is on the sidelines, and that will be him finished for the night, I believe, because he's just walking down the sidelines and they're waiting for that substitution. So at the moment, Serbia playing with 10. And awaiting that substitution to allow them to bring their substitute on. And a break in play will be needed for that. I don't know what the referee's given here. He stopped the game for some reason. He's going to allow Serbia to make this change now. So Filip Kostic is going to make way with that strange injury issue, and it's going to be Filip Mladenovic who's going to come on in his place. Mladenovic. And a straight swap at left wing back. Kostic has played decently well so far, but not going to be making any further appearances here tonight with his first half substitution. Serbia have not done too bad towards the end of this first half. I have to say it's been much more even in the last 10-15 minutes. Not much to separate the sides in terms of shots either. England have had just one shot since we last looked at the shots. 3 for England, 2 for Serbia. England with the only shot on target so far. Here's Mitrovic getting involved, but Declan Rice beats him to it. Pickford finds it out to Saka. He has to retreat back into his half to keep the possession, but sometimes you have to go back to get forward. Stones knocking it long, and that's a faltering of possession again as Gudel will just knock it back to his keeper, Rajkovic. So we're into the last minute of the first half here in Gelsenkirchen. Serbia 0, England 1. Jude Bellingham's goal separating the two teams here in Group C. Živkovic. Gudel does well. Cute bit of work. Finds it to Mitrovic. Out to the left-hand side is Mladenovic. Just onto the pitch as we've surpassed the 45 minutes. And there will be, I'm hearing, 2 added minutes at the end of the first 45. There is, as Serbia's trail of possession comes to an end as Lukic's ball forward looking for Mitrovic. Just goes wayward and behind for a goal kick. It's an interesting idea. I mean, I think if Mitrovic had have found in, it could have been offside anyway. England holding a high line defensively there. Lovely bit of skill from Mladenovic, but Alexander-Arnold tracking him all the way. And he's going to get the free kick, which he's taken quickly. Not waiting around at all here. Mitrovic. Last minute of the half. Lukic. Sasa Lukic on the halfway line. Pavlovic. Mitrovic coming a bit deeper. Has played a bit deeper in this first half. Hasn't been the leading man. That's a nice ball forward. Živkovic, the ball in from Lukic is across the box and Stones has to swipe at it. Doesn't get the best of connections to it and puts it behind for the Serbian corner. Could there be one late bit of drama here in this first half? And this is surely one of the last actions of the first half, one of the last plays. And it will be the substitute Mladenovic to put the corner in. It's very low and easily cleared there by Bellingham. Back out to Mladenovic. Serbia keep it in the final third, but they're not going to go any further with that. And that's the half-time whistle from referee Daniele Orsato. England have the narrow lead at the break. That Jude Bellingham goal, the difference. The diving header to rocket it into the net. And it gives England their opener at Euro 2024. And at the halfway stage in Gelsenkirchen, it's Serbia 0, England 1. Analysis on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024 live here on LFS this evening, half-time in our final game of the day, and it is England, the runners-up of Euro 2020, leading Serbia, making their first appearance in 24 years at half-time in Gelsenkirchen. Jude Bellingham's goal, it was the only goal of that first half, which separates the two sides at this moment in time. We already saw earlier this afternoon, Poland beaten by Netherlands in the Group D opener in that one, and Slovenia drawing with Denmark 1-1 in Stuttgart in England's group. In this group that we're watching, at 1-1, the first draw of the tournament. So already seen quite a number of goals today, 6 to be exact for you. And let's talk about that first half then, really, from England. We talk about the goal. I mean, it was beautifully worked. Kyle Walker found that gap of space on the right-hand side. And when just watching from the wide angle, we'll see Saka break down. But we just see Jude Bellingham completely unmarked through the middle, just jogging forward, completely calm as you like. And when he knows the ball's coming, he lights it up. And he dives, as I said at the time, like a salmon to head that one in. It's a lovely goal. Beautifully worked down the right hand side, and that in that first half is where England have found that advantage. You know, I mentioned that the majority of England's attacks have come down that right hand side, trying to find those runs of Bukayo Saka time and time again is where they've got the most joy. I said in that first half, I can't remember the last time they went down the left hand side in that left channel, England. Harry Kane's not been massively involved. It's mostly been that midfield kind of mix of players, the likes of an Alexander-Arnold, Saka, Bellingham, Foden, Rice at times as well. That midfield where England have got their most joy in attack. And then the full-backs, Trippier's been lightly involved, but it's more right-sided where they find it. The 6 players that really got massively involved for England, as I mentioned, Saka, Bellingham, Foden, Alexander-Arnold, Rice and Walker has been massively involved as well. But they're very fluid, England, and that's what I noticed that very early in the game when they had that dominant spell in the first 10-15 minutes. I noticed they weren't rigid. I mean, Rice was the only one I really think out of those 5 in midfield where I think he was sticking to a role. He was sticking in that traditional 6 position ahead of the centre backs and dropping in at times, not very often, but those centre backs just ahead of them in that kind of triangle. But the likes of Alexander-Arnold, was set up originally be beside Rice, he's got more freedom, he's pushing forward at times. Saka's literally hugging the right touchline majority of the time. Bellingham's coming in and around the midfield helping out, and Foden is actually, for the majority originally, was put on the left. He's been on the left at times, but when he is at his best and when he's found that space, he's been in that inside channel, he's been in the central areas where he's been helping out, kind of create an overload for England. And early in the game, their goal came from the wide areas, and that's where kind of Serbia thought they were safe because they were crowding out that central area. They were trying to really stop England from coming through the middle, and they did that so much that they actually left the wide gaps. And England, you can't just stop them through the middle. They've got such great pace wide areas, and that's where the goal comes from, down the right hand side, and then they drag you out wide with the wide areas. They leave the gaps in the middle, and that's where Jude Bellingham gets his goal. But Serbia themselves haven't been completely beaten out of the game. That goal is probably it is England's best chance, obviously. It's their best created chance. I mean, Walker had a chance that was dragged wide. There was no one in there meeting it. Saka was in and around the box a couple of times, had a couple of opportunities. But Serbia haven't been completely washed out of the game. It's not been one of those where England probably should have more goals. Maybe they could have another goal, but I don't think England have created a hatful of chances in that first half. It's been decent. They've created 3 shots. But Serbia themselves have actually had opportunities in pressing and counter-pressing England. When England have the ball, they've tried to nick those balls in midfield. And from it, one of the big chances for Serbia was when Alexander-Arnold gave the ball away. He just overstepped his mark. And Alexander Mitrovic had that shot that went just wide of the right post. They've had other opportunities as well, and they probably ended the half, the better of the two teams, Serbia, to be honest. They had the better possession, they looked more comfortable on the ball, and they were getting their opportunities from those positions. England looked a lot more comfortable into the end of the first half, but England started the better. So it was kind of an even first half. England got their goal when they needed it, but promising for Serbia, the fact that coming into this one, as I said, haven't been in a Euros in 24 years, have a lot of quality, but they're coming up against one of the tournament favourites in their opener. It's as tough can be, and they've held their own and some in that first half. They've not been completely overrun in terms of chances, and I'm just looking at England's first half average formation. It's very compact in the central areas. I mean, there's probably about 30 yards between those 11, or between those 10 outfield players, between Guehi, the deepest, and Saka, the furthest forward for England, in that first half. So it looks like England staying very compact, but very fluid, not sticking to a traditional formation in that first half, and that could be their biggest benefit, really, in the end, being that fluid and dragging players here, there, and everywhere. But Serbia have a lot of promise in this game, and I wouldn't say that they have a big opportunity or that they're going to try and get something, but they have as best a chance as anyone else did, and they're the best as chances Slovenia did earlier when they were 1-0 down at half-time. It's not that hard, or it's not that far away from them. I mean, it is quite hard, but it's not that far away from them in terms of it's only one goal. England don't have a comfortable lead. They're not cruising. They're doing well. They're dominating the ball, but they're not cruising in the game, and that's something I would watch. England, yes, they've been the better team overall in the first half, and that's why they have the lead, but I wouldn't be as confident. I wouldn't kind of count my chickens before they've hatched in that way, because there's still another 45 minutes of football, and as we saw with Denmark earlier, maybe they counted the chickens too early. They kind of took that 1-0 advantage at half-time for granted. They come out in the second half, Denmark, and really didn't do what they did in the first half. They kind of stepped off the mark a bit and allowed kind of Slovenia to have more control in the game in the second half. What England need to do is not do exactly what Denmark did. Come out in the second half with fight, with fire, and not take this one goal lead for granted, because it can very easily be taken away from you. And Serbia will know that more than anything, and they'll want to come out and fight in the second half. They know they've got, they can create chances with the quality they have, the ability, the attacking players they have. I mean, that front three that Serbia have, a lot of international teams would be very kind of jealous of, and would snatch your hand off if you gave them the opportunity to play with that front three in Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, Dusan Vlahovic, and Alexander Mitrovic. They've not really massively involved, but towards the end of the half they maybe looked more comfortable, and they grew into the game, Serbia, and they still got a very good chance at maybe getting something. But we will see if that will happen, of course, in the second half. Just run you through the stats, actually, of that first half in completion. England did at one point have 96% possession. It was early in the game, but they did have over 60% possession for the majority of that first half. It's just fallen to 55% possession. Serbia 45%. England 3 shots in that first half to Serbia's 2. England with the only shot on target. The only shot on target was the goal. Serbia without a shot on target in that first half. England created one big chance, which they scored. There's only been 7 touches in either penalty box from the opposite team in that first half. 6 touches for England in Serbia's penalty box. Just the 1 touch from Serbia in England's penalty box, and that was, I would go as far to say, that might have been Mitrovic's shot. In terms of passing, England have had 328 passes, Serbia 262, so not very much in between those. Serbia with the only yellow card of the first half, Nemanja Gudel, in that first half, so not massive amount of stats to really get our teeth into from that first half. But one that is interesting is that England do have the only shot on target of the first half, and that is the goal. That is the crucial one that would put them top of their group at the end of match day 1. We'll have a look at how it looks at this moment in time. Group C. There we are. There's the groups. You look at the bottom left hand of your screen, left corner of your screen. England, as it stands, top of the group, ahead of both Slovenia and Denmark, who drew earlier this afternoon. Serbia, as it stands, bottom of the group with 0 points, because they are losing 1-0. As I said, England would be in that unique position at the moment where they're not, like, there's not a team on the tail of them. Both Slovenia and Denmark both only on 1 point, and England would be leading that by 2 points. Obviously, Group A and Group B, both top 2 teams on 3 points. And then Netherlands top of Group D at the moment. Group E and F to come tomorrow and Tuesday. Right, second half from Gelsenkirchen in the VELTINS-Arena in Schalke will be getting underway very shortly. Do stay with us here on LFS. Welcome back to Euro 2024 live for a final game of day 3 in the group stages, and the players just returning to the pitch, ready for the second half in Gelsenkirchen. We'll see what can happen in this second half, whether England's lead will be added to, or whether Serbia can make the difference and make up the deficit. It looks like they're going to make a change. They made a change just before half-time with Filip Kostic coming off through an injury. He was replaced by Filip Mladenovic, and it looks like Ilic is going to come on for someone. I had no idea who yet. We'll wait on the board going up to see. But Serbia clearly feel they've seen something at half-time and want to make that change. And it's going to be Nemanja Gudel, who got the only yellow card of the game in the first half. He's going to be replaced. And Ilic is going to be on in his place. Ivan Ilic. And interesting. Serbia making that half-time change. That's their second change of the game. As we get back underway then for the second half. 45 down, 45 to go. And England leading by a narrow 1-0 scoreline. Jude Bellingham, the scorer in that first half. And they kind of stepped off the mark towards the end of that first half, England. They dominated the first 20-25 minutes of the game. 20, maybe 30 minutes, I would go as far to say. Serbia with little possession in between the lines in those early moments. But towards the end of the first half, that final third of the first half, Serbia grew into the game and found a bit more possession, and were starting to get forward a bit more. But England keeping their 1-goal lead intact. Here's Milenkovic. Velkovic. Back to Ilic. And now Milenkovic. Back to Rajkovic. And Serbia want to come out to start the second half as they ended the first. On the ball. Ilic finds Mitrovic on the right, battling with Bellingham. Bellingham does really well to get the better of him. There was a battle as the referee will play the advantage. Bellingham battled for the ball but was stuck on the floor. Couldn't allow England to get the ball back as Serbia keep the ball. Down the right hand side, Zivkovic just loses out there to Foden. And now England do have it back here with Trippier. Bellingham. Brought forward to Saka, now Alexander-Arnold. Kane. One of his rare touches as the referee got in the way of Harry Kane's possible pass there. It's only Kane's third touch of the game. He made 2 touches in that whole of that first half, Harry Kane. Must be watching Erling Haaland. It's Erling Haaland type striker stats. Minimal amount of touches, but maximum amount of impact. What a saying. As again, England crowded out in the middle. Serbia win it back. Mitrovic to Zivkovic. Milenkovic back to Rajkovic. Knocks it long. Battling was Walker and Vlahovic. Serbia bring the ball down and get it down the left hand side. Here with Milinkovic-Savic. Lukic round the corner. Couldn't find one of his teammates. It was Vlahovic that was the closest. And England intercept and will have it back. Saka. Kane. Again battled out of the play. As Milenkovic won it back. Now Zivkovic. Space to break down the right hand side. Here Zivkovic. Driving in field. Almost gets the break of the ball. Rice there. Just making the challenge in just enough time as now Saka will try and break forward here for England. Bit end to end. Saka tracked all the way by Pavlovic, and bit of a wasteful pass there from Saka. There wasn't a pass on, but surrounded by red shirts and surrendering possession there. Saka forced in the end. Pavlovic. Mladenovic. Back to Rajkovic. We'll go long again. Stones will head it back. Not the most convincing of headers, and he'll do it once again. Calmly head it back to his keeper, Pickford. Rice. Rice to Foden. Rice back to Pickford again. Serbia pressing high. They're going kind of 3 for 3 whenever England are in possession there, Serbia. As Milenkovic again gets the better of Harry Kane and outmuscles the England number 9. The ball goes all the way back to Rajkovic. He has to send it long as he was pressed there. Bellingham will bring it down in the middle for England. Walker. Nice Saka. Back to Kyle Walker. Stones and Foden. Facing his own goal, was shoved a slight bit there by Ilic. Foden receiving the ball from Pickford, and the pressure sends Pickford knocking it long. Pavlovic with the first header. England battled with hard, and that's lovely work from Lukic there, to try and win the ball, and he was trying to break free up the pitch and run out of room. as Pavlovic does well to battle back for it. Serbia have started really well this second half. Feel confident within themselves at the moment. England not allowed to get a hold of the ball too much since the first whistle of the second half. Zivkovic, closed down there by Bellingham, will be a Serbian throw. And Bellingham turns to his teammates to say what's going on when he puts the ball out of play there. I think Serbia have found the balance between battling and giving away free kicks. They gave a lot of free kicks away in that first half, and putting in the same amount of challenges in the second. They're just being more reserved with them at times. Finding that fine line, that balance. As England again very heavily pressed as Pickford blasts that one really long. And Harry Kane on the press, but calm enough header from Milenkovic back to his keeper. Pavlovic. Milinkovic-Savic forward, and Vlahovic gets the break of the ball and all the way through. Mladenovic was making the run in and it just couldn't find him. Pavlovic, very aggressive, wins the ball back here. Pavlovic, now Mitrovic. Chips the ball in the middle, but lots of teammates around him, but he couldn't find a single one of them. But that is another moment where English fans would have had hearts and mouths. Their side have really wilted it in the last few moments. Started the second half, they haven't really got going, England. It's more of a continuation from the end of this first half. Serbia growing in confidence and controlling the game a lot better than they originally were. They seem a bit slow from England. They're a bit lethargic at times on the ball. They aren't zipping it around like they were early on in the game. Pickford. Stones. Just they need to regain their composure, England, and regain their control of this match. Saka, nice flicked on header, and Foden beating off the ball there. Fairly according to the referee, and will be a Serbia throw. Yeah, it's a fair challenge by Velkovic. Zivkovic. Nikola Milenkovic. Lukic. Ilic now to Pavlovic. Milinkovic-Savic looking for the ball in behind. That one was always drifting and always going behind for the goal kick. Well, Dragan Stojkovic, the Serbian head coach, certainly hasn't been calm at any point during the game. He's been up and around. He's been very animated on the sidelines. Mitrovic. A tussle there with Harry Kane, the two number 9s. The two captains, and Kane wins the free kick. 10 minutes gone in the second half, and it's really interesting how little of the ball Harry Kane has had in this game. England have completely focused on those 5 in and around midfield, and I think they've kind of forgotten they've a centre forward in the team. But it's because he's been isolated. You know, all the talk of how he's been staying higher at Bayern Munich this season at club level. And he's been coming deeper and not allowing that outlet at times. Just a bit confused as to what needs to happen. Kane getting involved there. Foden, Bellingham, Rice. This is better from England. Alexander-Arnold! Good strike. Good save by Rajkovic. Clean from Alexander-Arnold. Starting to get a bit of confidence from that shot there. Here's Alexander-Arnold on the overlap. Cuts it back. Bellingham takes a touch, but probably should have taken it first time. Crowded out there, Jude Bellingham. Serbia were patient in their defending and waited for the right moment to get the ball away. As Velkovic's ball is back to Declan Rice. Foden. Bit of a difficult, tough spell for England at the start of this second half, and they're trying to ride through that, get themselves back on the ball and back commanding the possession. Alexander-Arnold's shot, only the second shot on target of the night. England's fourth shot overall. Well, that's a poor pass by Guehi there, but he got away with it as Rice picked it back up in the middle. Now Alexander-Arnold. Rice. Bellingham. Alexander-Arnold. Bellingham's ball, not the most accurate of ones to Foden, but Trippier did pick it up. Maybe an interest of the bench shortly for Gareth Southgate. Maybe just not yet, but wouldn't be in the too distant future. Alexander-Arnold's pinging it forward, but Harry Kane didn't know it was coming, and Rajkovic can just gather that one comfortably. Lukic looking for a pass off. Finds Velkovic, sorry. Ilic. Milenkovic. Pavlovic. Through the lines, that's a lovely run by Mladenovic. And a cross, and Mitrovic was there, but it's still alive, and Guehi and Pickford in with each other there, almost messing it all up completely. Mitrovic is down in the box. Don't know whether he's claiming there was a foul in there. That's a lovely weighted ball round the corner. I think it was Milinkovic-Savic that played the pass, and Mladenovic. Have to see the replay. Mladenovic's cross. Ooh. Trying to think. Looks close, that. It looked like Trippier on the cover was just got a catch on Mitrovic. And Daniele Arsato is just explaining to Alexander Mitrovic about VAR. I mean, it's just seen the reverse angle. There's not much in it. They're both in their stride, and Trippier does catch him, but it's not a foul as such. Just trying to shield the position. I think Serbia are going to make a change. Double change maybe incoming. So the referee is just going to give the ball to Mladenovic here. Left hand side, but they're going to make a double change instantly, Serbia. So Alexander Mitrovic, their captain, is going to make way. He's going to be replaced by Dusan Tadic. And the second substitution, Luka Jovic, is going to be this the player coming on. And he's going to be replacing Sasa Lukic. So Tadic off for Mitrovic. Tadic on for Mitrovic. And Jovic on for Lukic. So some fresh legs for Serbia to try and change things. Maybe switch up their attack. Of course, Dusan Tadic very rarely isn't included for Serbia, but hasn't started the game, and he'll now have 29 minutes to try and make an impact. He does get the captain's armband. Tadic. Serbia, with around 29 minutes or so to go, are still very much in this match. Harry Kane getting deeper, getting involved, but winning the free kick. Harry Kane there. Just a foul by Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. England fans trying to cheer their side on. England have only won one of their opening games at a European Championships previously. That was in Euro 2020. They had failed to win any of their previous opening games in previous editions dating back to the 1960s, the 1968 edition. They are unbeaten, England, in 6 matches against Serbia. And that was Serbia's last victory against England, was in their only previous Euro finals fixture, which was a 1968 semi-final in Florence, and Dragan Zajcic scored the only goal of the game in the 86th minute for Serbia that time. They were called Yugoslavia at that point. That was their 4th win in their first 9 games between the teams, compared to England's 2 victories. Here's Ivan Ilic. Milenkovic. That's lovely work in between the lines. Mladenovic. Cross in from Tadic. Header is flicked on, but Walker will try and head it clear. And Trippier will help him in doing that. Puts it out for a Serbia throw. But again, more danger incoming. Really good play by Serbia. Their passing's a lot crisper in the second half. Here's Mladenovic going for the looping cross in. Nicely taken down by Foden, and he clears that one away from danger. Well, these two have played each other 15 previous times. Serbia have won 4, England won 6, and there's been 5 draws between the sides. Serbia scored 21 goals, England 25 goals in those meetings. The cross comes in from Milinkovic-Savic there, but cleared away by Stones. Velkovic really in a deep spell. Here's Tadic, gets the break of the ball all the way through. Jovic couldn't take it under control, and it will roll its way through to Pickford. Again, really good pressure, isolating the fullback out, and then playing in between the lines. Tadic and Jovic, the 2 substitutes, almost linking up, but Jovic, just couldn't get the touch on it, and it just rolled its way through to Pickford. As Pickford knocks long. 25 minutes to go. Serbia 0, England 1. Jude Bellingham, the only goal of the game, and there might be substitutions incoming for England. And we'll see who those are in a moment, as England have a free kick just inside the Serbian half. Their 11th free kick of the game. Rice is over this one. Might just take this short. He will. Squared across to Walker. Through the lines finds Kane, lays it off to Alexander-Arnold, and does get the corner out of it. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Good play by the midfielder. And that's their first corner of the game. Wow, we've only had one other corner. That was a Serbian corner in the first half. It was England's first corner of the game, and Alexander-Arnold, who won it, will be taking it. Well, the referee's just going to sort out a few issues in the box first. As Alexander-Arnold stands over the ball. Ready to step up to whip this ball in. It'll be an out-swinging corner with the right foot. Whipped in by Alexander-Arnold. Punched away by Rajkovic. And cleared all the way out as Walker recycles. Foden. Now Alexander-Arnold on the right. To fizz one into the box. Not fully cleared away there. Bellingham will pick up the loose ball on the left-hand side. Ilic in close proximity. Bellingham trying to beat his way past him. Ilic staying controlled. Bellingham still trying to twist and turn his way around him, and does get the cross in, but straight into the hands of Predrag Rajkovic. In the Serbian goal to restore calm. Milinkovic-Savic. Velkovic. Zivkovic. Bodies in the box. Vlahovic, the one to target. Did get the header, but couldn't direct it towards goal. Brought down by Milinkovic-Savic. Couldn't find his teammate. There's Rice in a bit of confusion. Puts the ball straight out of play for a Serbia throw. The pressure starting to be felt by England, making some unforced errors. And the changes are going to be made. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to make way. And Conor Gallagher is going to come on in his place for England to try and change the dynamics of that England midfield. As it gets applauded off the pitch there, Alexander-Arnold. All the talk before the game as to whether he could do it in midfield. And he had a shot on target earlier on. Some venomous effort that from the Skyser. And he's going to be replaced by Conor Gallagher. He has been heavily involved in that midfield and held his own, to say the least. Serbia will have this throw in. The right hand side. Zivkovic will take it. Quite a number of bodies in the box. They'll take it short. Thought they were going to go for the long one there. Everybody did. Zivkovic looking to cross it in now. Tadic gets the break of the ball. The ball chipped across. Mladenovic is in and around there, but Saka blocks it off. Mladenovic does get it. Lovely footwork from Pavlovic. Looking for the cross. Gets the throw in. Serbia keeping it up this end of the pitch well. And the contrast between England and Serbia, the first half to the second half for England. Saka was running the show down the right flank in the first half, but we haven't seen much of him in the second. As that flick on, Pickford should catch it, but he punches it away, strangely enough. And that's a shot from distance, trying to ping it back in, but will fall out for an England goal kick. It's a bit strange from Jordan Pickford. Decided to punch it. Could have caught that, but decided to punch the England keeper. He's going to take a goal kick now. 20 minutes to go in Gelsenkirchen. Serbia 0, England 1. Nicely taken down by Kane, that kick. Bellingham. And Harry Kane brought down there by Ivan Ilic, and it will be a free kick. Ilic disagreeing with the referee, but it looked to be a slight foul. Bit of impatience from England. So free kick for England. Good opportunity this. A second goal could be priceless at this stage. Foden with a left-footed ball in. Back post, it was coming. He was there. Saka will take it down on the right flank. He will lift it in. Back post it will go. Headed across by Stones, and the deflection will head into the hands of Rajkovic. It was Rice with a header, apologies. They look very similar from a distance. And Rajkovic got the catch on the ball in any case. It didn't matter. But I want to just return back to what I said at half-time about Denmark and how they were dominant in the first half, took a 1-goal lead, but failed to kill off Slovenia and paid the price at the end of the second half. Could deja vu be reappearing in Gelsenkirchen in Group C? Or is this going to be a different sort of outcome? Well, the crowd's certainly keeping their tempo up. Still the atmosphere inside this wonderful arena. Saka lays it off to Bellingham. Down the left it comes. Trippier. Foden. Rice. Going to play it through the lines. Bellingham gets the ball. Lays it off to Foden. Wide to Trippier. Back to Foden. And now Rice. England trying to break their way through this rigid, structured and very stable Serbian defence. Stubborn is the word I was looking for there. Very stubborn defence. But not that they've had to do much defending in the second half, Serbia, let's be honest. England have had one shot in the second half. That was Alexander-Arnold's shot on target. I mean, the attackers for England have really not had much joy in front of goal at all in the second half. Barely had much control or much joy in front of goal in the first half. And they're going to make a change here, Serbia, so they're going to go for this. Substitution incoming, and that's going to be Andrej Zivkovic leaving the pitch, and he's going to be replaced by Veljko Birmančević. So an extra attacker on, and maybe could push Serbia on with 16 minutes to go. Tadic, lovely touch, nice drag back out on that right hand side. He's on his own at the moment. He tries to get the pass off, ends up giving it back to Foden. It's a bit isolated there, Dusan Tadic. Wonderful from Trippier to skip his way through and find Foden, who's pulled to the ground by Dusan Tadic, and the Serbian captain will get a yellow card for that pull. I think there's going to be an England substitution here in a moment. We've already seen England make one substitution. Conor Gallagher on for Alexander-Arnold. That's a midfield change, but said how the attackers really haven't got going in the second half, and they're going to make that change now. And Saka, one of those who led up the first half, really has gone very dim in the second half, like an old bulb. And he's going to make way for Jared Bowen. Some fresh legs on the attack for England later on here. Saka getting the assist for the goal that separates the two at the moment. But a tougher second half for Saka, whose side haven't had as much joy on the ball as they did before the interval. 15 to go. Bit of aerial football here. Pumping it up, and Gallagher's this time fouled. It's another England free kick. It's a light, a little bit of a shove from Milinkovic-Savic on Gallagher. It's not major. Jared Bowen's over this free kick. He's not going to take it though. Walker did. Bowen sent down the right flank. Bowen with a cross. Header! Oh, off the underside of the crossbar. How close has Harry Kane come there? And that is a huge opportunity that didn't find the net from England there, and he shakes his head in disbelief. Bowen with his first involvement with a wonderful cross to the back post. No one stopping Harry Kane there, but it was the bar that did in the end. Pushed onto the bar by Rajkovic. Incredible. Huge moment for England, that. Second goal, I said, is priceless at this late stage. Would, sure enough, secure the points. A second goal. I said Harry Kane's playing Erling Haaland type football. He's had his 15 touches. That was his 16th touch off the underside of the crossbar. Trippier can't fully clear that one. Birmancevic trying to battle. Trippier does well to be patient, and Pickford to clear it away. Milinkovic does well as Serbia recycle the possession again. Milinkovic-Savic. Lots of bodies forward for Serbia. We have to throw everything at this. Here's Milinkovic-Savic. Trying to find Birmancevic, but was nicked away from him. Bellingham, nice through the lines. Finds Harry Kane, who can run. He's got options. And he flicks it back for Foden, but Foden just behind Gallagher, and the attack breaks down for England there. But now Serbia can break up the other way. There's bodies ahead for them and room to break into. As I was saying, that Pavlovic made the cross. That was just too much to try and find Vlahovic in there. As England have the ball back again. Might end this with an end-to-end football match. There's a player down there on the far side for England. It's Kieran Trippier that's just gone down off the ball, and that will be a worry. And he does not look happy at all here, Kieran Trippier. And we talked about England's injury issues at left back so far. Luke Shaw not fit enough to be involved tonight. Shaw wasn't removed from the squad because England felt that he would be able to at least be involved at some point. But he's not going to be able to be on tonight. And Kieran Trippier looks in a pretty, not a great way. And the players get a bit of a breather at the moment while Trippier gets his treatment. And he's back to his feet pretty quickly, Kieran Trippier. When he went down, he put his head in his hands, and it looked like one of those ones where we usually see from a player where they know their night's over. But Trippier got back to his feet pretty quickly. Maybe just the hint. Who knows? It could be a bit of time wasting. Not going to try and accuse him of anything, but never know. He's giving a wry smile on the sidelines there. Well, he's trying to stretch out his leg. Looks to be his hamstring. He's trying to just stretch it out at the moment. Pickford on the ball. 80 gone. 10 to go. Serbia 0. England 1. At the moment, this result could go any which way at the moment, as Serbia will get the free kick. Gallagher a bit bemused. It's just a late lunge. It's a late clip of the foot of Ivan Ilic. And here's a free kick to Serbia. I've committed a lot of bodies forward. I've got nothing to lose at this point. Serbia. They are 1-0 down and they need a goal to change the outcome of this match. Can they find it? It's the crucial point. Cross comes in. Deep there. Jovic couldn't reach. Cleared away that time by England. Back it comes. Tadic dropping deep. Trying to lift the ball forward. To Jovic. Vlahovic! And Pickford had to make the save to deny Dusan Vlahovic there. Tadic with a drop back. Plays it forward beautifully. Too high for Jovic to get onto it. Brought down nicely by Vlahovic. And he just struck it wonderfully. And well dealt with by Jordan Pickford, who made the save. And Vlahovic, who's been quite quiet so far in this game, had a bit of a shot there that could have flashed its way in. Corner for Serbia. Tadic with a cross. Falls its way through. Bouncing ball. And Pickford was going to make the save. And Harry Kane got the block in. And they're all celebrating there, the England defenders. The England players at that moment. The second phase of the corner. The shot was flying in. And Pickford was going to make the save, but Harry Kane got in his way first and blocked it. That's a strong left hand from that first save from Vlahovic's shot by Pickford. Seeing that second one, shot from distance, and the header up in the air to block it from Harry Kane. That shot from Vlahovic will give them confidence. Serbia. And Vlahovic felt it was fouled, but the referee plays on with minimal minutes to remain. Still more than enough to get something. As Pavlovic heads it out and gets England the throw in, sorry. Walker to take this throw. Down the line, headed out there by Mladenovic. Will be another throw in. Walker again. Throws it into an area there. Bellingham couldn't chase. Gallagher will pick up though. Dispossessed Mladenovic, and the referee kind of got in the way of Serbia there, trying to win it back, but intercepted. Here's Bowen. Pavlovic. No. Here's Pickford. Bomb it forward. What a lovely pick out to find Bowen on the right flank. Walker. And is this just the time where England try and play keep ball to try and win this night? They do have the advantage. It's not do or die for England. It's manage the game and you win idea. Can they do that as Vlahovic gets the better of Gay? He gets the throw in as Serbia have committed bodies forward, but that misplaced pass let them down. Kane. Vlahovic battling, and Harry Kane pulled down by Vlahovic. Will be a free kick. Have to say, Dragan Stojkovic is now sitting on an advertising hoarding. He's been very animated tonight. I mean, he almost squared up to the fourth official there on the sidelines. Emotions running high on the sides of the pitch as Jude Bellingham, the goal scorer, is going to make way here for England. A diving header is the difference. It's a lovely goal and worthy of a winner. And he gets a few high fives as he's going to make way, and Kobbie Mainoo is going to come on for him, the young Manchester United midfielder, who is 19 and his competitive debut for England. What a way to make your debut in a competitive game for your country in an international tournament. The England fans sing another rousing chorus of the English national anthem to try and rouse their team and hold on to this 1-goal lead that they possess. Rice was battling there with Tadic, and Tadic will get the free kick. Do hit like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you're enjoying the stream and you don't want to miss a single thing of Euro 2024. We'll have over 40 games live here on LFS, including all 4 quarterfinals, both semi-finals and the live final on July 14th. You'll not want to miss a single thing. And also do follow us on socials as well, on X, Instagram and TikTok. All the links and handles you need are in the live video description. Do hit a follow over there, you'll not miss a single thing if you follow us on all socials as well. Tadic now. 2.5 minutes of the normal 90 to go. Time is not on Serbia's side. They need a shot on target. Cross comes in from Mladenovic, but again cleared away. It was Stones that time that got the header. Tadic has it back though. Mladenovic trying to battle for it. And got the throw in off Foden, I believe, or off Bowen, sorry. Milinkovic-Savic. Milinkovic-Savic. Now Mladenovic. Gets past Bowen. Mladenovic. Back to Milinkovic-Savic with a shot. And it was arrowing towards that top corner, but just went the wrong side of the post. It spun away at the last second. Pickford looked to be trying to reach for it, but it just spun the wrong side of the post for Sergei Milinkovic-Savic there. And Jordan Pickford getting stuck into his team and asking the question as to why Milinkovic-Savic was allowed to take that shot in the first place, given the time and space on the ball, as Pickford kicks long. And the second ball brought down at the back there by Pavlovic as Rajkovic knocks long for Serbia. Harry Kane. You saw his header pushed onto the underside of the crossbar as England came ever so close to a second earlier in the game. And it's all about how long is left and how long England have to try and hold on here. They'll know it's not the perfect of performances, it's not the ultimate best they can be, but it's only the opening game, and 3 points are huge at this stage of the campaign to get yourself off to a winning start, especially considering 2 of your rivals in the group drew earlier this afternoon. And England would be off to a winning start if they hold on. And next up for them would be Denmark on Thursday. 4 added minutes at the end of the 90. So there is going to be another goal. It's going to be an added time goal. Will Serbia get that late equaliser, or will England do enough to hold on or even add to their lead? That looks as unlikely as it could. Because if you believe it or not, both teams are level on shots in the game. 5 shots apiece. England with 3 on target. And Serbia with just the 1 on target. Vlahovic's shot is Serbia's only shot on target, and England's 3. Bellingham's goal, Alexander-Arnold's shot, and Harry Kane's shot. Harry Kane's header, because that was a save by Rajkovic onto the bar, not a straight hit of the woodwork. A minute down, and Gallagher will win another free kick here. Ilic this time, and England just trying to win those free kicks to break the game up as much as possible at this late venture. And that's the experience of game management at the top level. Things like that. Winning free kicks, winning fouls, trying to slow the game, take the tempo and momentum out of it, and run the clock down as much as you possibly can. How long will they take there? They did take the free kick, and Boehm trying to find it, but in the end Serbia get straight back on the ball. Mladenovic. It's been a game of 2 halves really. Serbia have been definitely the better of the 2 in the second. Though England have had more shots on target in the second half than the first, they haven't looked as threatening. Although Serbia coming forward, Birmancevic, Tadic now. 2 minutes of the 4 to go. Still more than enough time for something to happen. Ilic. Down the left-hand side is Mladenovic. Mladenovic looking with a cross, and Bowen using his body to block it out. Put it out for the Serbian throw. Clock ticks down once more. Milinkovic. The shot from distance blocked. Gallagher with a block that time, and Bowen to clear it away, but not very far as Milinkovic. Here's Pavlovic. Will win the throw-in off Jared Bowen. But England holding them firm at the moment. Alexander-Arnold and Bellingham. Probably the only 2 England players that aren't gritting their teeth at the moment. They look as calm as can be. Into the last minute of the game, and the ball into the box. Bowen to clear. They're trying everything they can. Serbia late stages here. And England will win a free kick in their own half. A whistle so heavily celebrated as Harry Kane wins the free kick there. And Milinkovic not particularly happy with the decision, but it is a foul. And that might just be enough to see England through. We will see how long might be added on to the end of the 4. Maybe not at all. But Pickford might have the last kick of the game here with this free kick. And the idea will be as far as you possibly can get that away from goal. As Serbia try and rescue it up. Pavlovic with a kick, but that's it. The final whistle. And England, for only the second time in Euros history, win their opening game at a European Championships. They did it the hard way. Just a 1-goal advantage they had to carry for over 75 minutes of this game, as Bellingham's header came within 13 minutes. But it was enough in the end. Only the second side in the competition to keep a clean sheet so far, alongside Spain. And they did it the hard way. Serbia had chances. Vlahovic with probably the best of the game. And Pickford made the big save. England weren't at their best, and they know they'll be better than what they showed tonight. But they didn't repeat the fate of Denmark earlier. Dominant in the first half, poor in the second, and dropping points. England defied that. They were great in the first half and poor in the second, but they did not drop points. Final score from Gelsenkirchen in Group C. It's Serbia 0, England 1. Just confirmation then of all 3 of our scores today. So Poland beaten 2-1 by Netherlands in Group D earlier this afternoon, with Wout Weghorst's late winner to decide the points. Slovenia got a late equaliser against Denmark earlier this afternoon. Erik Janss's goal finding the net to level against Denmark after Christian Eriksen's goal put them ahead. And Jude Bellingham's goal, the difference between Serbia and England in our final game as England win their opening game of Euro 2024. And let's have a look at how the groups stand then at the end of the day. And this is how Group C looks. England, as they did at half-time, topping the group with their first win. And with both Slovenia and Denmark dropping points, means they have a 2-point advantage on the two teams below them. Serbia, bottom of the group, on 0 points. Next up for England is Denmark on Thursday evening. And they will be hoping and probably needing to be a lot better than they were tonight. But Denmark will know they'll have to improve for that game to come. That game in Frankfurt on Thursday. Right, that's it for tonight. Great to have your company with us all throughout today and another second triple header in a row. These are our 6 games we've witnessed over the last 2 days, and a lot more to come. 2 more days of match day 1 action. A lot more to come. But for now, have a great night. Night-night.